Yo, what's popping, people? Yo, you probably see my statuses, my updates, etc. It's been one crazy weekend for sure, man, for sure. Competing two different countries on 2 different days back to back. You know, it was tiring, there were hurdles along the way, you know, a lot to adjust, a lot to keep on top of. The trains were out, the reconstruction here and there, having to reroute, but we made it, so I'm happy that we made it. And these things, you see, this is just I'm all about, I mean, I know when I'm old, you got your own things and serving other people, etc. I want to have my sentimental things, the things that keep me who I am, you know what I'm saying? And this might just look like plastic and metal to other people or whatever it may be, but it has sentimental value to me because with each one on my trophy shelf or wherever I may put it, there's a story behind it, you know what I'm saying? I can look at each one and it's going to remind me of a part of my life. Now, it might not necessarily be the bodybuilding competition that it reminds me of, it might be a person I shared experience with, people I've met abroad, what it took me to get this one. That's what it's all about. So happy that we got a few more accolades, a few more stories, a few more experience. I became more resilient, more experienced, and then we just put any mistakes, because there were mistakes. There was a mistake with the tan. There was just a few little things here and there, never perfect, but we grow from it. We become more resilient and we put it in place next time. I've got a few notes here. Basically, for anyone that's interested, food, peak week, training, all of that stuff kind of leading into this, and try and break it down as short as possible. I mean, I started on high volumes of food, so I went from pretty much eating crap off season, and this, by the way, this season was divided. I started prep, stopped prep, wasn't going to compete and jump back on, which is why there's kind of like, you see me out of shape very close to when I competed, and I managed to get it back down. Which brings its own stresses and, you know, difficulties as well, which is why I probably wasn't at my peak at certain times, but it is what it is. No excuses, that's why I didn't want to mention it before. I'm just glad that I jumped back on it and have gained many positive experiences from it. So I started on high macros, so I was eating crap off season, which I'm not going to do this time, I'm going to tell you why. But I started high macros and high calories. Now, when I say I didn't count any of these, I'm not counting calories, I'm not counting macros. What I'm trying to do is listen to my body. It's almost like when someone goes blind, they can hear, the other senses enhance. Someone goes deaf, again, the eyesight improves. They become reliant on other senses and they start to notice patterns better. This is what I try to do. So instead of me counting, jumping on scales and stuff, I'm listening to my body. So I started on high macros, high calories, and that means because I'm not counting, it was as much as I physically could, going from dirty to clean food. And what I do is, I'll just, okay, let's say it's 10 meals, and we know roughly on how much is there based on eyesight. If I'm not losing weight off that amount, and I'm getting loads in, there's a slight reduction. I'm just trying to keep it as high as possible while still losing weight, and you find that middle ground. So it's still high, you're still forcing it in, but I can lose weight on it, and you adjust accordingly. 2 weeks on that, I wanted to give myself just 2 weeks on that, so basically encourage my body to recognise the pattern, then I'm giving it an abundance of what it needs, so it doesn't need to hold on to things when things get stressful. We did 2 weeks on that to introduce that. Then I went on to high, I was still on high macros, but I brought the calories down a touch, just a touch. And that was just to make sure that now the body has recognised the mind and muscle connected, realised the purpose. Just like when you're drinking, you know, your bodybuilders and stuff or not, you're drinking tons of water and then you cut it off. It's not about the water, it's about what the water does to the brain in terms of the body recognising, hold on, this is too much water, I need to get rid of some. It's a psychological pathway. So once I've introduced that, then I've dropped the calories a little bit. So I'm continuing to burn, and now I've dropped a bit more, so I will double that effect. High carb, low fat, and moderate calories. So with this now, I wanted to increase the carbs at this point, but I brought down the fats and the proteins in particular. Yeah, so I've gone from high macros, all split on all of them, to then keeping the carbs high, but bringing the fats low and bringing the protein low down as well. Did that for about I didn't actually count how long. What I wanted to do was make sure, because fats and proteins are slow digesters, that I give my digestion system a little bit of a break. It's been took a pounding off seasons, took an adjustment now, and this is all stress. Adjustments of any sort in any system, yeah, whether it be the mind, the digestive system, repair of tissue, any adaptation is stress. Yeah, and the byproduct of that is cortisol. And again, that's when people start getting stomach issues, the digestion slows down, and the results don't come. So it was just about a break, taking out the slower digesters, but it allows me to keep the calories the same, you know, all the volume the same. Then we went to a zone diet. With a zone diet, this is just an even split now. So I've gone from high carbs, the body can utilise that, fill out a little bit, and as far as digesters are gone, I introduced the digesters back. Digesters? So I'm thinking of digestive cookies or biscuits there now. Digesters. Once I bring those back in, then I can bring the carbs down. So it's like an even split between the three macros, basically. That's zone dieting. Again, that's just an adjustment. We don't go from one stream to another, we make adjustments and work alongside the body based on what's happening and what you can sense happening. So like I said, if one of these don't follow this, it's just what I've done based on listening to my body. If it doesn't feel like it's happening before you're going to go on the next stage, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You might need to change your training, the intensity of your training, it might be a sleep thing, it might be a stress thing, there's many factors. Then I went to high fat. Now because I went high fat, I dropped the carbs. I dropped the carbs quite low. This is where we're going like low carb now. Yeah, so now we're really trying to attack the fat. And I know that I'm not going to go low carb from the beginning because you know, I need it for certain activities and it's going to be an uphill battle. So I'm okay at this point here to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Or be prepared to. Sometimes you don't even need to, it's just a psychological thing. To really attack the fat, going closer towards keto but not quite. Then, and again, these are all on moderate calories based off what my previous knowledge is of calories based on just looking rather than counting. Then now we're starting to go low calories. These are the last two ones, so these are like the final stages. When I do drop the calories low, which is not for very long periods of time, but when I drop the calories low, and again this is person dependent, so I know what low calories is for me based off what I'm trying to push off season and what I'm comfortable at on season, which is or dieting, which is moderate. Now we're low calories, now the food is super restricted. I might take some meals out as well as the volume. Again, it all depends on my digestion, my metabolism, my cortisol stress, how busy I am, how active I am. You know what I'm saying? There's many different factors that we just need to understand when I'm doing this. So with moderate fat on there. The protein was high and the carbs were low. Yeah, so moderate fat, carbs low, and it's like super low, you know, and then high protein. And then at the last stage, we drop again. So this was like closer peak week, maybe? Yeah, peak week, I'm sure. We're talking like no fats, no carbs, just protein. So I just literally ate chicken and chicken mince, and I used skinny noodles on a few occasions, but other than that I was just eating chicken. Just plain, seasoned, but chicken. That's it. Chicken mince, that's it. You know, and when I first introduced it, I was putting green beans in, and I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that might not, some people might be like, okay, so how do I scale this? You know what I'm saying? And again, this is the importance. This is why I don't jump on the scales. This is why I only look in the mirror at scheduled times. I'm not going to do it daily or anything like that. Not until I'm actually in shape. And that's because, like I said, I'm really going to hone in on this understanding the body thing because it changes, it's ever changing. You know what I'm saying? You do a plan that worked 4 years ago, 3 years ago, last year. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to change this year because there's too many variables. When you understand the body, you are on the job. You are adapting to all the variables on the job because you've got that mind-muscle connection, you've got that mind-gut connection. You know what I'm saying? It happens. This is just like when you're in a job and you've been experiencing the job for 12 years. You don't need the same manual as when you started because you've adapted in so many ways. You know certain things that new people don't know, other members of staff might not, and that's why you're the manager or the supervisor or whatever it may be, or CEO. That's what makes you the CEO. So I'm trying to be the CEO of all of this and be on the ball all times. So the scalable part, there's no jumping on the scales because it can misinterpret, you know, so many variables. There's no looking in the mirror, again, like too many variables that affect the water and body fat, etc. and focus solely on the plan, how my body should be reacting physically, mentally and spiritually to what's going on in the process. I've done it a few times, so I kind of know, you know what I'm saying, and that's an experience thing. If you haven't got that experience, you can still scale things, but just less. Don't be dependent on it and focus on what's happening psychologically. Okay, that's gone down, but I feel better, my digestion's better. Okay, so X, Y, Z, and vice versa. That's really important, because like I said, old school bodybuilders did not count calories. They didn't, and a lot of them were eating cheese, yogurts, and all these breads and stuff on prep, and they got in fantastic shape because they understood the process, they understood their body, and they know what was required, where their mindsets should be, mentality, how they should feel at certain points. And that's why I believe we have better bodybuilders then. Even though we have some fantastic ones, we have fantastic bodybuilders now, but it was just a different mindset. Also, so we're going to go peak week. So day one was high carb. Now let's say traditionally, because day one can be dependent based on condition, I'll look at myself and say, okay, this is day one of peak week or whatever it may be. But let's say day one, high carbs, and it was just carbs on the first day. I'm talking rice, potatoes, rice cakes, cracker bread, and they were my only sources of carbs, nothing else. They were my only sources of carbs. And I was seeing, basically what I do was eat as much as possible. Again, similar to how I started the prep, as much as possible, as frequent as possible. And adjust based on my digestion, adjust based on how I feel, you know what I'm saying, in general, how I'm reacting to things, are they making me sleepy, etc. The first day is going to tell me everything here because it's ever changing. Again, it's going to tell you, is cortisol involved because there's a blocker? Is it like, you know, just so many different factors. Is the water too low? But again, it's an experience thing. I'm just telling you what I did. Day two, once I've understood the process, now what I did was the same, so same carb sources, but reducing the carbs by about 50% and introducing chicken for the first half of the day with each meal. And then minced beef, you know, the 5% minced beef for the second half of the day. Day three, I fast until 12 and train if possible. Yeah, just give it a bit of movement. That psychological effect of, okay, these are the muscles that require it and we're doing it for this purpose. And then the carbs will be pretty light on that day, pretty low on the carbs on that day. Day four, so this was after the show. So after the show, I put day four because it was two competitions. So after the first show, fully fluid up, loads of fluid, loads of water, loads of Diet Coke. I had yogurt and eggs, bread, controversial things. Because I've been so depleted, I pump up quite a lot when I'm competing and stuff. So I put these type of things in because it's normally what I eat after a show, completely, and I've always had a good reaction. But to ensure that it don't spill over, shall we say, you'll just adjust your sodium or potassium in your food either the next day or throughout. Salt, so sodium, I will have none on peak week up until I begin the carb loading process on the second day. On the second day, when the meeting rolled as well, we introduced the sodium. We go very high sodium and then none on the day. So none on the day, but high sodium day 2 and 3. Electrolytes, before and after the competition, make sure that's stocked up. And I'm posing throughout the day. On all carb days, I'm posing throughout the day. What else are we talking about? Training. So I'm blagging on a little bit here, but training, no ego exercises. So at the beginning of the prep, what I do is I go one heavy exercise per muscle group, just one, and I'm still going splits. So chest one day, back one day, arms the next week, etc. But only one heavy exercise for 3 sets. The rest of them are all based off autopilot. Going in, just putting in the pin, whatever I feel like, do my reps, pushing till failure on a few, pushing like pain endurance on the other, time under tension. It's all about me enjoying the gym at the first stages. I want to just have that psychological connection to my training to ensure that I stay motivated and stay on the plan. Then what I do is, and on my weekly muscle groups, I do 9 sets. So let's say, for example, like quads, etc. I'll do 9 sets on one heavy exercise, and then the rest of it is, again, me just based on psychological, keeping in there, things I like to do, and rep ranges I like to do, and challenging my body and mind. And yes, like I said, in terms of the actual peak week, it's a standard depletion. It's a standard depletion where we're going to go, again, I don't set the reps, but I'm going to go, based on circuit. So back to back, no rest, go through every single muscle group, and then cut the legs off at a certain point as well. It might be like Tuesday or Wednesday, but I start with the legs being introduced on these depletions because it's not like they're going to be fully fatigued, but I'll cut them off about Tuesday, Wednesday, about Tuesday, based on whenever I start the peak week. And then I will continue doing this depletion up until like Thursday. Sometimes Friday, it all depends. Again, like I said, I've done it before where I cut it off really early, and I don't think I really feel my full potential. I peaked early, and then other times I've run it right through. It's been perfect. Other times I've run it right through. It hasn't. There's so many variables, but I've kind of understood my body now based on how I feel at the start of the peak week. I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, Macro-Based Diet. Macro-Based Diet. And you know what? Now that the competition is over, like, I'm really missing the meals that they provide for me, man. I really am, because I'm feeling like I want to boredom eat. I just want to eat. I'm so used to regular eating, but because it's clean food and there's volume in the food, it satisfies me. I'm happy, I'm content, I'm in a routine. Now that I don't have my prep meals, I really feel like just going and getting something. You know what I'm saying? Filling that void that I've introduced. So I can't wait to get back. Macro-Based Diet. Use code DAN10 and you'll get 10% off. They deliver nationwide. Great company, great guys as well. Shout out Diamond Theory. They provide fitted shirts. I brought mine down as well. And I was looking good, man. I was eating in the restaurant. So they make everyone look good. Not just bodybuilders, not just fitness model. Everyone. They've got a shirt for everyone, every shape and size to look good. Nefertiti, they provided my trunks. Now I think it's one of them. That was my error. I used some large ones that were provided, and I think it was the only one that's oversized, so that's my bad, so don't judge on that one. All of them that have been my size, and that was my fault because it just was. All of the rest of the ones fit perfect, fit like a glove. So if you see at these 2 previous competitions, like people were complimenting it. It's got glitter, it's like red glitter, blue glitter, they're all good, they're all perfect fits. I feel confident in them, and everyone has always complimented them. So if you need a discount on that as well, J10, and you'll get 10% off certain stuff on there. Nefertiti Stagewear. Tan, I screwed up my tan because I ran out of my sponsored tan and I bought a Dream Tan, and I regret it. I had a bad batch and I was green, and I think it cost me, to be honest, but I won't make that mistake again. Muscle Tan are the best in the game, honestly. These guys have sorted me out and helped me out for the most time. So thank you for that. I have used in previous competitions and you still look great. Chemical Warfare. So Chemical Warfare, it was Black Friday. They gave up to 65% off the products. They've extended that. So, check out the website, Chemical Warfare Supplements. Just search that in Google, the website will come up, and that's 65% off. Use my code J15, 65% off. Crazy. My academy, so Fit Fast Academy, got Black Friday offer on most courses. So if you want to become a PT, if you want to learn about nutrition, if you want to gain teaching qualifications, anything, check out the website, Fit Fast Academy. And we've got some great offers on as well. Thank you for everyone that signed up over the weekend. I put the offer on, and I've just had tons of inquiries. I really do appreciate it because it's supporting myself and allowing me to do what I need to do. So thank you, and I'm glad to be helping you advance in your future and your education, which is the most important. So thank you. The supplements that I've been using with Chemical Warfare: IsoStrive, protein, greens every day. I mix it in with more protein shake. A multivitamin, of course, we know the importance of that. Glutamine, my favourite supplement. Glutamine helps with your digestion, your immune system, everything. GDAs are more like competition people. They help you to utilise the glycogen within the muscle. Probiotics, everyone needs to be on a probiotic. If you're not, go over to the Chemical Warfare site and buy one. I don't care who you are, check out the benefits of probiotics you need in your supplements, just in general, everybody. My kidney health supplement through them as well, again, very important. Put a lot of stress on your kidneys. Also, their heart health supplement as well. That puts a lot. These are very important things. Don't just be like, look after yourself basically. And bomb-proof as well. Again, so bomb-proof, heart health, kidney health. Those are the ones just you need to be looking after yourself as well, man. Otherwise, it's gonna catch up with you. So make sure that these supplements I recommend. The majority of them. Check out the website, Chemical Warfare, got 65% off. If you have any more questions for me, based on how my prep was, what I did, the journey, etc., or any help and guidance you need, let me know, and I'll be happy to help.